As relationships mature, especially in long-term marriages, it's not unusual for women to notice a change in how they feel about their husbands. Many begin to wonder, what happened? Why do feelings of love, admiration, and connection start to fade, replaced instead with frustration, indifference, or even resentment as the years go by? While this emotional shift can feel confusing or even discouraging, the reasons behind it are often rooted in very real and understandable life changes. The evolving emotions women experience toward their husbands typically don't come from nowhere. In fact, they're shaped by a mix of emotional, psychological, and day-to-day realities. In this video, we'll take a closer look at what causes these changes and how couples can respond to them in ways that lead to greater understanding, healing, and emotional closeness. Time passes, and so do expectations. One of the biggest reasons women start to feel disconnected from their husbands is the simple passing of time. Early in a relationship, everything feels fresh. Couples are in love, full of dreams, and excited about building a life together. But over time, reality starts to replace idealism. People grow, change, and sometimes grow apart. The qualities a woman once found charming in her husband may now seem annoying or even intolerable. What used to be cute, like a certain habit or personality quirk, can slowly become a source of tension or irritation. As both partners age, what they expect from each other and from life also changes. Things that once seemed minor, like poor communication or lack of help around the house, may start to feel much bigger. For many women, patience runs thin with time. They may no longer be willing to overlook things they once accepted. 2. Shifting roles and uneven responsibility. As the years go on, many women begin to notice a clear imbalance in their marriage, especially when it comes to shared responsibilities. In many households, women manage a lot: careers, parenting, finances, household chores, and emotional support. Even when both partners work, the emotional and physical workload often lands more heavily on the woman. If a husband remains passive or uninvolved, especially once the kids are older and more independent, resentment can build. Feeling like the default parent or caretaker while your partner stays on the sidelines is exhausting. Over time, that constant stress can cause emotional distance. The more women feel unsupported or underappreciated, the more likely they are to grow frustrated with their husbands. 3. Changes in physical and emotional intimacy. Physical closeness is a key part of many marriages, but it naturally changes over time. As couples age, things like menopause, health conditions, or decreased libido can affect a woman's experience of intimacy. At the same time, her husband may become less attentive or emotionally available. When intimacy fades or becomes one-sided, it can leave a woman feeling unwanted or invisible. That emotional gap can quickly turn into a deeper sense of disconnection. If she feels like her partner no longer desires or values closeness, it can chip away at the bond they once had. Eventually, this leads to frustration, loneliness, and a shift in how she views the relationship. Poor communication and unresolved tension. In many long-term marriages, communication starts to break down. Couples get used to routines. They stop checking in with each other, and problems go unspoken. But small problems don't just disappear, they pile up. When women feel unheard or dismissed, emotional withdrawal often follows. Old arguments, financial stress, parenting conflicts, or even betrayals can simmer just below the surface. But if no one addresses them, they become emotional walls. Over time, women may feel unsupported and emotionally alone. That disconnection often turns into dissatisfaction and can even lead to disliking the person they once loved deeply. 5. Self-discovery and personal growth. Aging brings clarity. For many women, life after raising children or reaching personal milestones brings about deep reflection. They may begin asking themselves tough questions. Am I happy? What do I really want? Is this the life I imagined? This stage of self-awareness can bring big changes. Women often realize they've spent years putting their own needs last, while constantly prioritizing their partners. They may start to crave independence, excitement, or simply more meaning in their day-to-day lives. If their husbands aren't also growing or evolving, it can create a gap. That emotional mismatch can lead to feelings of disappointment or detachment. It's not that love disappears, but rather that it gets buried under years of unmet needs and unspoken truths. 6. Shifts in physical appearance and attraction. Attraction in a relationship is layered and deeply personal. As women grow older, their bodies naturally go through changes. Weight fluctuations, wrinkles, changes in skin tone or texture. These shifts can impact how a woman sees herself and how she believes her partner sees her. If her husband doesn't express affection or appreciation like he once did, she may start feeling undesirable or invisible. In some marriages, men become less affectionate or attentive over time, which only deepens that sense of disconnection. If a woman begins to feel unappreciated or no longer desirable, it can hurt her confidence and affect how she views her husband. Over time, this can turn into frustration, especially if she feels like her efforts to maintain connection or appearance are going unnoticed. 7. Money struggles and lifestyle pressures. Financial concerns can be a major source of tension in long-term relationships. As couples approach retirement, manage debt, or support children into adulthood, the pressure can become intense. If partners aren't aligned in their financial values, communication, or planning, stress tends to rise. Many women take on a big part of the financial responsibility, whether managing the household budget, helping cover expenses, or working outside the home. If they feel their husbands aren't contributing equally or responsibly, it can lead to feelings of unfairness. This sense of imbalance, when added to existing issues, can deepen emotional distance and add to the tension in the marriage. 8. The deep need for respect and equality. Respect is at the heart of any healthy marriage. As women mature, they often become more aware of how they are being treated, both in words and actions. If their contributions, opinions, or emotional needs are overlooked, they may begin to feel disrespected and undervalued. When respect isn't mutual, the emotional bond can weaken. A woman may start to question whether she's truly being seen as an equal partner in the relationship. If she feels like her voice doesn't matter, she may start pulling away, not out of anger at first, but out of emotional self-protection. Eventually, that detachment can turn into resentment or apathy, craving change and new life experiences. Many women, especially in midlife or later, begin to feel a pull toward change. They may long for something more, new experiences, more freedom, or a break from old routines. This desire often comes from deep self-reflection and a natural need for growth. It's not necessarily that they dislike their husbands. It's that they want more from life, and they want a partner who supports that journey. But if their husbands aren't open to change or don't understand that longing, it can create tension. The woman may start feeling held back or emotionally stuck, which often leads to frustration and emotional distance. The growing feelings of frustration or even resentment that some women develop toward their husbands over time are usually rooted in real, practical issues. These include shifting expectations, unbalanced responsibilities, fading emotional or physical closeness, lingering conflicts, and a deep desire for personal growth. The good news is, recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. Honest conversations, Mutual respect and ongoing effort can help reignite connection. Relationships evolve, but they don't have to fade. With empathy, commitment, and a shared willingness to grow, couples can not only survive the years, they can thrive in them. Rediscovering love is possible, even after decades together, when both partners are open to learning, listening, and changing together.